Haley and Spencer of 76th Street wear power suits when they perform.
Drive me wild, you drive me wild, it's an order to exile.
So I figured I'm gonna put on a power suit to tell you about my new podcast interview with the band. It's giving newscaster, it's giving broadcast journalism. It's my roots after all, so I'm gonna lean into it. I'm Kyle Lamont, by the way, and I host ConcertCast. It's a rockumentary podcast exploring concert culture. And a couple of years ago, I was living in Nashville and I reached out to Haley and Spencer. They have been performing together since they were 10 years old, okay? So they have this really unique friendship on stage and off. And so I wanted to know what it was like to be in a band and chase dreams in Music City. And so for 5 days or so, I followed them around with a microphone in hand, and we did just about everything up-and-coming bands do in Nashville. Songwriting circles, rehearsals, songwriting sessions, pizza parties. It was a blast, and I invite you to listen to the episode on concertcast.live or wherever you listen to podcasts. It's actually part of my series called Check Check 1 2, where I document bands in the midst of their creative process. But this is a follow-up interview with the band. It's been a couple of years, and they've just released a brand new EP titled Wild. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. The start of the interview. Let's bring in Haley and Spencer. Hey.
Hey.
Haley has 9 million tabs open, and I will be
it's
anxious
stressing out, Spencer.
if I look at it the whole time.
You're a tab queen.
I'm a tab hoarder.
Going for it, you too, being in your presence. It's like a new 76th Street has entered the chat.
I like the sound of that.
Tell me who 76th Street is pre-Wild and post-Wild.
Well, we are the same. I mean, our message has always been, strength and independence and radical self-love. And we kind of took that energy and leveled it up, I guess you could say. The biggest change, though, I would say, in the art that we were making prior to Wild is it was just more general, like messages that just, a human can relate to, which we loved. And we still feel very, passionate about making the human experience into art, into music. But something that changed, that was when we moved to Nashville, we kind of came into ourselves in a whole nother way. And yes, we were technically writing queer music before we got to Nashville, but we weren't really using she, her pronouns when talking about the love interest in the song. And in moving to Nashville, we were so inspired specifically by East Nashville, because the queer community in East Nashville is just vibrant and booming. And I think it gave us the opportunity to not feel so much like the minority in our sexualities, but actually the majority, which made us feel more comfortable. And in turn, it bled into the music that we were creating. So that's when we started writing. I think we started with I Left Her, and then the Lipstick Lounge, and Girl, like all of these songs you can feel in this album are very inspired by the community that we entered in coming to Nashville.
We've always led with the same message of empowerment and self-love, but the community that we found here has completely energized our music now. So we're aiming this message at this community, and it's just building off of what we've already been singing about.
When I was there in Nashville at your first apartment, one of the funnest experiences I had was getting ready with the two of you, selecting your show outfits for the songwriting circles. And I love watching your outfits sort of evolve as well with your music.
Switching to doing the matching suits for our show, it does two things. Number one, it takes away the stress of having to pick out our outfits and figure out how we're going to coordinate. Because you saw, like, before the suits, BS. Like, it was stressful. Like, we wanted to look cool, but there's a million different pieces we can combine, and it was difficult. Now we have like 3 different suits that we can choose from, and we're like, are we going to sparkle? Are we going to be cold?
So that's the hardest question we have to figure out, is which suit we're going to wear for the show,
which is not a hard question. But the second thing I was going to say is that we feel so cool in them. Like, it just feels good. Like, I feel like we found the outfits that we can make that transition of, like, all right, we're in our day-to-day clothes, and then we put on our uniform and we're ready to perform.
Yeah. And I think it also adds to, like, what we're trying to convey on stage. Like, we want to inspire boldness and fierceness. And when we put those on, that's what we're speaking through our music and our fits.
I love, like, a good song, like, just, there's something about putting on a blazer that does transform how you feel. Sexy business vibes, So
suit.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to take this interview using your EP as a roadmap to guide us through some of the questions. I've pulled out 3 of my favorite songs, and also my producer's songs, Leanna's favorite songs too. And I think they will help shape sort of, hopefully, our conversation, and just understand more of, like, the sonics, how much I love, like, the process of you two making a song. You put a lot of love and effort and time into the songwriting process and production process. So I want to get into some of that as well. But give me quickly the significance of the title of the EP, Wild.
I think it was actually kind of recent that we landed on that title, because originally we wanted it to be 76th Street because it was our debut EP. Yeah. But we thought it'd be so cool to have a name that was like,
and the word wild is just, it just makes so much sense. Every single song in this project feels like it just embodies this concept of wild. And we use that word all the time, like, in our house, and we describe the most incredible things as wild and the scariest things as wild, and life is just wild. So it worked. And then we realized the coolest thing, which is that the first song, and this was like an accident, but, like, just kind of really locked in the naming of this project, which is that the first song is wild, but the last song on the album, the bridge says, "Oh my God, you drive me wild." And the meaning of wild changes throughout the album. And so it's all kind of sandwiched in with this one very beautiful word.
Was there a moment where you felt like you had more permission? I know you spoke on being in the community, but was there, like, an impetus, like a moment where it clicked for the two of you to really produce and write a queer pop album, EP, about same-sex relationships?
Haley had a conversation with a friend just about the Lipstick Lounge and just all the things that it, like, helped her discover. So in the conversation, she said, like, she found all of her best friends and lovers, and then had this revelation that she found herself. So I got home one night and I heard her playing something on the piano and singing those exact lyrics. And I was like, are you writing a song about the Lipstick Lounge right now? Like,
which is like, it's funny because we don't really write, like, I don't know, we've never written a love song for a location before, but I fell in love with the Lipstick Lounge.
I found my best friends at the Lipstick Lounge. I found a lover at the Lipstick Lounge. I'm just another boss queen, babe, girl who can say I found myself at the Lipstick Lounge. Oh,
So she was writing this song, and immediately I was like, this is cool, this is different, and this is going to touch a lot of people. And then it might have been a month later, I was just like sitting at the kitchen table, and she walked downstairs, and she ran downstairs, and she had this look on her face like, we are going to release this song. Because when she was first like playing it in the other room, the thought was that it was just maybe going to be for you, or just for who.
Yeah, it was like it started as like a guilty pleasure, not even guilty pleasure, but like it was just writing for fun to express myself. And then once I kind of realized, I was like, wait a minute, Spencer, I'm gonna need you in here. We're gonna need to finish this together. But it was the reason that we felt like it was a risk, not even a risk, but like we didn't want to what's the word when you exclude people? Maybe just exclude.
Oh, exclude.
Exclude our like non-queer fans. We still want, everyone to feel like this is a party for everybody. And in putting out this song, and really like niching down our audience to the queer community, the most amazing thing happened. And it actually broadened our community by a lot.
Conversations that have simply changed my life. Random conversations in the genderless bathroom lines, where strangers say I love you and it gets you every time. I found my best friend at the lipstick lounge. I found a lover at the lipstick lounge.
Moment, it sounds like, was the lipstick lounge, being at the kitchen table, and that sort of was the genesis of the EP.
Yeah.
It was like there's energy here, there's something really special, and we have something to say behind this song. So the lipstick lounge kind of just catapulted us to feel like we're just going to go for it and sing about this.
For fans at home that might be Googling, are you two dating?
That is the age-old question, Kyle.
Oh, we've been asked that for so many years.
But we just realized our relationship the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We are platonic wives.
We're married in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But we're not in a romantic relationship.
We share a car and a bank account.
Yeah.
No, but we're best friends, and we've been best friends since we were 10 years old. And that's, at this point, a lot of years of friendship. So we know everything there is to know about each other. We've lived together for a very long time. We are totally, absolutely not dating. That's disgusting.
We barely hug. We do a hand hug.
We hand hug. We like really don't hug that much.
Our friends
like,
think
ever.
we're weird. They're like, are you guys gonna hug ever? Yeah. Rare occasions.
I don't know why. That's like just a weird thing.
When I was around you two, and even now, like I never once got that feeling of romantic love between the two of you, but it's interesting that people might get that impression. But humans are humans. Like we all are entitled to our own opinion or perspective, but I think when you told me that it's Googled a lot, I was like blown away.
That's like one of the top Google searches when you look up 76th Street.
The EP begins with the song Wild. And within the first 30 seconds, you say, I don't know why. I don't say what I need. I don't want to die before I get this out. And it feels like a dire way to start the musical journey of the EP. What exactly do you want to unleash through this EP?
We wanted to unleash fear, the fear of standing out. Wild was the first song that we actually wrote before any of the other songs on the EP. And I think it set the tone for like the energy and the boldness and the fierceness that was going to be in those other songs. So I almost feel like the intensity of the lyrics were kind of giving ourselves permission, like, let's make music we've never made before and sing about things and be as, forthright and out in our lyrics than we've ever been before.
Yeah. I think we came to a point where we were like, there's just absolutely no point in being shy about anything. Do we want this? Do we want to be musicians? Do we want to say how we feel? Do we want to be truthful in our art? Then we kind of just have to say, like, let's just go for it.
Yeah, that song is definitely like, there's urgency there. There's like, we're not getting younger. We just need to go for this and be wild, say things that people might not expect, and make music that we want to make.
Every day nightfall, I'm in my head, dreaming of all the things that I should have said. What I'm gonna do, who I'm gonna be. And I don't know why I don't say what I need. I don't wanna die before I get this out. I wanna dance, I wanna scream, but I've been too proud. Every time I find myself trying to please, I lose a little bit of who I could be. I tried playing it cool, that didn't work. I wanna be wild.
Great answer, you two. That is hard to articulate. Yes, you did. You understood the assignment. Good job. Could you two sort of speak about exploring your sexuality and just sort of being more comfortable talking about it in song form?
Wild, like I was saying earlier, it gave us permission to be bold and say what we want to say. And I think it was also kind of giving me permission to be who I am and be bold in that way too. So this community that we found has really influenced our music, but it's also made me feel super empowered to be more open and fluid in my sexuality. And that's just kind of been a crazy experience, like going through discovering myself almost over the course of writing the EP. So we're writing these songs and I'm actually, relating to these things and living them out in real time.
Yeah, we've been on like different timelines of our sexuality exploration. Like for me, this is just freaking awesome. Like I love singing about queer relationships. I've never felt more connected to our lyrics. I've never felt prouder to scream the Lipstick Lounge to our community, to our friends, to our family, because it's like we're screaming like, this is who we are, and if you connect to this, and like, I love you.
It is an interesting experience because I've just been on the sidelines, like watching Haley on this journey, and now I'm just like, oh.
Come on. I had nothing to do with this.
Okay, let's move on to the next song titled I Left Her, a celebratory breakup song. Tell us why you made what is normally such a sad, emotional experience into an anthem of self-love and triumph.
I think that there's a point in a breakup where you just want to listen to really sad music and really be in your feels. But then there's a point in that healing that you find the good in it. And we needed to have a song on this project that celebrated the good of an ending, because it's not always bad. And sometimes it ends for a reason. And I think that is something worth celebrating. So we've, like, when we talk about this song, when we introduce it in our shows, we say we have a breakup song. Actually, it's a liberation song.
And everyone always cheers when we say that, because it's like, oh shit, like this is not a sad breakup song.
Yeah, like you get it. If you can vibe to this song and you listen to this and you're just like, oh my God, why does this feel good? It's because that's how you feel. You feel you're connecting to the almost relief that you're not in a situation that you don't feel is your truth anymore. Whether you left or they left, whatever it is, like you can find happiness and celebratory energy within it. And it's also, it just goes right back into that radical self-love. It's like, You don't need that person. And you might have gotten very attached to them. And that's what hurts so bad, is the change. But
Yeah.
you don't need them. And you're gonna be fine.
You're gonna be great.
And let's party.
I don't know why it took me so long to dress up nice and go out alone. Ordered my third glass of Sauvignon Blanc, getting drunk on freedom. It's pretty damn fun. The waiter must have seen it written on my face and asked me, what's the occasion? And I said, I left her to make space for me. Now I'm all that I think of when I fall asleep.
I love this song because the verses tell a really cool story of you walking into a bar, talking to the bartender, saying, I just broke up with someone, but it's a good thing. And then the second verse, you're jumping up on the bar, telling the entire bar this news and partying. Like, I love the story.
Yeah. And it was our first song that we ever put she, her pronouns into it. So it's just another reason for us to like feel really connected to that song. And I remember singing that for the first time, and we said, this is our first song that we ever wrote with she, her pronouns. And that chorus, just I left her. Oh, it felt so good. It felt so good.
Let's go into sort of the sonics of the EP. I've noticed there's a lot more like layering. Were there any other like production breakthroughs or workflow breakthroughs through this process?
Yeah, I really love the production on each of the songs because I feel like they're pretty different. Like they sound like part of one family, but like Lipstick Lounge has like this like 80s pop energy because we have like a vocoder on our voices that like our producer put them on and sent us a mix. And I was obsessed. I'm like, I want this on all of our songs because the layering of our voices sounded so cool. And then I think Fall in Love is actually my favorite production wise. That one, we were inspired by Louis Capaldi's music and production. I think the art of creating something really full and lush, but using as minimal like instruments as possible is really hard. Because that's one way to ruin like a beautiful ballad anthemic song like Fall in Love, is to just pile on way too much production. So that one is near and dear to my heart. And that piano gets me every time. Like we spent a lot of time just ironing out the piano of Fall in Love. And we were listening to the instrumental of that song, and we realized that the piano on its own actually tells you the story of what we're singing about. So like you get the tension, like the whole piano part just is beautiful.
Thank you. I'm taking that as a
wrote
compliment.
it together.
You're saying my name like you know it, sweeter than I've ever heard it. What do I do with that? What do I do? I don't wanna feel it, cause I know this feeling feels good till I fall on my face. Here I go again, hope it doesn't end with another heartbreak. I don't care, I'm jumping out the plane, climbing up with no belay, running through a den of snakes. I'm always gonna be afraid, so while I'm feeling tough.
Anything on the technical side that you two did that was new on this album?
There is. So we met this band, they're called Sjogren, and they are incredible production songwriting geniuses. And a technical thing they taught us was, so we use Logic to produce our music, and they taught us how to use take folders.
Life-changing.
Life-changing hack. So usually when we're doing vocals, I'm sitting there, and if Haley's recording, I press record, she does it, I click stop, and then I create a whole new line, and we just do it over and over, but it's very manual. And basically take folders it's looping. So you can sing this thing 50 times and you don't have to touch the computer, and you can just sit there and be in the zone. So it really helps with like flow state, and it's actually changed everything because you can be artistic, you can try new things,
and you can use all the layers. So we were able to like layer our vocals a lot more, which is something that you probably would hear mostly in girl.
Yeah, so we did a ton of layering there, and also like adding different textures. So we'll shout different words or whisper different lyrics. So that's been fun.
Yeah, we're also belting a lot more. Like we're singing in a much higher range than we have in the past. I don't know who gave us permission to
yeah,
do that.
the bridge in Wild. I remember when we wrote that, we're like, should we just try to sing this insane note and just see how it lands? And we're like, okay, this is cool. Like, we just feel like in every song, for the most part, there should be at least one crazy moment you're just letting it all go.
Have you noticed like your voice is changing sort of through the like growing up or just through singing a lot together?
It's awesome.
Yeah, which is cool. Like, we're writing music that's expanding our own vocal range.
Yeah, it's really, really fun. Like the music that we're writing now, I could not have sang a couple years ago. There's just absolutely no way.
Let's just go into Girl. Okay. We know. Let's not beat around the bush. So it is an absolute. Okay. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. You two have a knack for creating earworms. It's unbelievable. I want to know where you two were when you unlocked or came up with the first line of the song.
I think that I just got more gay. There's something about the way I want her tattooed arms around my waist.
Spencer, do you want?
We were in the living room.
We were in the living room.
We were in the living
Yeah,
room.
the way this song was written was kind of interesting. So the chorus was written first. We absolutely knew that after writing the Lipstick Lounge, after writing I Left Her, we were looking for a 76 Streets version of our gay anthem. And we wanted to reference, in gratitude, artists who have paved the way for queer women to make music like this. So we picked our favorites. I mean, we have a lot of favorites. It was hard to pick, but we reference Muna, Brandy Carlisle, the Indigo Girls, Mary Lambert. These are 4 artists that we feel really did some of the, dare I say, like dirty work. And we just simply would not get to do this if there weren't artists like that, you know, creating the music that they did and being so brave and so bold. So we wanted to make sure that we got to honor those artists in this EP. So it was like, all right, let's write this queer bop. We're going to start by, you know, having this chorus that references these artists. And then we wrote the chorus, and then we were like, now what? Like we didn't know where to go with the verses. So we sat on this chorus for like months.
Yeah, so we wrote the chorus at the end of last year, actually.
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
And we were like, we need verses now. Like, what is the story?
Yeah, but we were so set on this was the missing song of the EP. We need just, you know, that sapphic dance bop. And so we weren't going to give up on it. And we started writing the verse. And it was storming outside. And we were in the house kind of trying to write. And we, for some reason, decided.
I know why.
Why?
Because I knew what you were going to say. Well, I think we made like a general demo, or we just recorded the chorus and we just wanted to hear it in the car, I think. Or were we listening to a demo of a different song? Yes, we were. I think we were in the car listening to like Party of One, because we just got the mix back for Party of One. And it just felt like the perfect time to finish this song because it was storming.
And we were in the car and the rain was like following around the
Yeah.
car. And we usually sit at our instruments when we write. So it was really interesting that we were not with our instruments.
Yeah, because we figured out the melodies. So what's kind of fun is when you have the melody, you can go anywhere and just kind of plug in fun lyrics.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of, I said, what if we just said, I think that I just got more gay? And can we start a song like that? Like, is that like, is that risky? I don't know. But like, it was the perfect way to start the song. Like, we knew what we wanted the song to be. And we knew that line just really resonated with the message. And we're like, let's just go for it. Let's just do it. I love
why
it.
not?
You love it. Maybe they'll love it too.
It's the last little spice on our album.
Yeah. Just like, you know what? If you had any questions by this last song, you'll get it.
The first line came to you, you said in your living room? Like, did it just like pop out of like you're watching TV and it was just like, bah, like that?
We were writing.
I think I just got more gay. She just like said it randomly while we were watching TV.
Yeah. I think that I just got more gay. And then we went.
Well,
we
I
had-
actually remember.
Okay, go.
Well, no, I don't remember. I just remember that we had the melody. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. And it was just cool that we had that, and then we plugged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had less fun lyrics probably in that place before. And then we were like, I like that line. You like that line? Cool. Let's keep it.
Also, there was another moment about the song. This song could be its own thing, but we were deciding, is this going to be like a romantic, like anthem or whatever, or is it going to be more sexy? And we had to make that distinction because the verses brought the sex appeal.
We chose sex.
Yeah, we chose. You know, the chorus could have been like, we're going to fall in love to Brandy. We're going to, it was more emotional, but we want it to be spicy.
How does it feel to have the remix out? Someone interpret your work in a different way. I love this song.
Fun.
It's so cool. It's so fun. We didn't really I don't know. We've never done anything like that before. But this DJ from Ireland named Zena started making videos on TikTok and remixing our song. And her videos were performing incredibly. And so many people were commenting on her video and tagging us and saying like, release this, let her release this. And we're like, okay, yeah, do it. This is awesome.
The way you look at me, I don't know what's come over me. It's like the whole world disappeared, and now I'm thinking we should dance. You wanna be my girl? Dance. You wanna be my girl?
For women curious about exploring same-sex relationships, what advice would you give?
Oh, I mean, if you're thinking about it, like you've got absolutely nothing to lose. And luckily we're in this incredible time period where, there's so many artists out there that are kind of helping normalize same-sex relationships. Like Chapel Rowan is doing incredible things for the community. And there's so many other artists that are doing incredible things. Tegan and Sarah have been doing incredible things for forever. And so like, this is we're so fortunate that we can be at a time where like, you can experiment and you can figure it out. And I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm definitely in a privileged position to say this because, my world has been so supportive. So it might be like easy for you to say, just, explore and whatever. But I really do feel like if you're living your truth, you're going to be that much closer to happiness. And so you experiment and you don't vibe with it. Like, okay, then you're not gay. Like it's the stakes aren't high. The stakes aren't that high. And it's awesome. Like discovering your sexuality. If you just even have like that feeling, because I feel like most queer people, it always just starts with like, maybe not always, but like at least for me and maybe for both of us, it's like it starts as just like this feeling of like intrigue. Like I feel like that might be something I'm interested in. and that can grow. And all of a sudden you go from like, I mean, I was saying like, I'm straight, but I'm dating a woman. I said that for a long time. Like, and now I'm like, I'm a lesbian. Like, it's a journey and it's fun, and you can turn back at any time if you need to. And I don't know, you only got one life. Have
So if
fun.
you couldn't tell, Haley says go for it.
Go for it. It's
She's
awesome.
very excited.
What about you, Spencer, being new on your journey? Any advice?
Have a Haley around because she will pump you up if you're scared of anything. But definitely, it's just like enjoy the journey of like learning about yourself. I think that's so cool. Like, we're in our late 20s, and I just didn't think that there was going to be something so new and different that I was going to learn about myself this past year. So just kind of, and enjoy discovering yourself and have fun. And yeah.
How would you say the making of this album brought you two closer as friends and as creative collaborators?
So I don't know if it's possible for us to actually get closer because we are intertwined, but platonically. This has been the craziest endeavor we've ever embarked on.
Yeah.
And we just get to celebrate and be proud and excited and dance and cry together.
Yeah, we put so much love into this EP, and to get to experience the response of the project and like share in that together has just, it's awesome. Like, we'll just like look at each other and be like, is this real? Is this real? Like, pinch me.
Don't come at me, okay, if one of their songs gets stuck in your head for days. I'm telling you, they're remarkably skilled at making earworms. But don't let that detract from the fact that Wild is a wonderful sonic journey, and you can listen to it in its entirety on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and definitely check out their website because they have some awesome merchandise. And I invite you to check out my rockumentary podcast with Haley and Spencer. It's a great insight to their origin story, and it's super inspiring, really, for any dreamer to listen to, because at the end of the day, like, they're having so much fun, and that is what making art and music is all about, right? It's supposed to be fun, and their friendship is so adorable. You can listen to that podcast on concertcast.live, and please subscribe, rate, and review this episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I'm Kyle Lamont, and thank you so much for listening.